All righty, let's rock and roll today. So this is actually a pretty fun class. I love video as much as I hate seeing myself on camera, like right now. Yay. I'll tell you what, it is probably one of the single most powerful mediums we have at our disposal as a small business. So a couple of things we're going to really look to demystify today. We're going to look to just set the right expectations for things, because I really honestly feel like, especially with most clients, that's where the problems start is, they have unrealistic expectations, or, they feel like it's just, there's like perception issues. So we're going to clear the air today. So to start, video marketing has really honestly grown by leaps and bounds over the last 10 years. And when I say last 10 years, you got to remember, obviously technology has evolved as well, but now it's to the point where we have a cost per entry point that's just minimal. Sometimes non-existent, but now is the time. Now is really, when you want to be utilizing this, because again, with COVID-19 and all the restrictions, or, just people in general kind of being a little more cautious, e-commerce sales are through the roof. This is where video is really going to shine for businesses. So, again, some common misconceptions. The funny part is we shoot with a GoPro. And that baffles most people. We come in with this small little micro camera and people are like, okay, are you guys for real? And it's, well, yeah, we are. Like, this thing, you'd be amazed at what it can do. So, we're not talking about Spielberg work. We don't need to get, hired directors and go out, no offense to sneaky big studios. There's a time and a place for all that stuff. But for most businesses, we want to keep this as easy going as possible and provide you realistic tools and resources to make this happen. So, concepts covered today: video statistics. We're going to talk a little bit about equipment. We'll talk about techniques, content, types of videos, and really put it all together with how this equates to SEO and websites. So, Tom, anybody, Walter, you guys got anything to add?
Yeah, I just want to chime in. Don't be intimidated by the type of equipment. I did work when I was living in Austin, Texas, with the San Antonio Spurs minor league basketball organization. And we at first would bring these fancy cameras and stuff so we could do post-game interviews and all that stuff. After a couple of games, we just started using our phone. It was just something simple. You get a good quality from your phone. So don't let the technology, or don't let the believe that, I don't want to invest in equipment and all this other stuff. Don't let that hold you back. It's just so much more important for you to be able to go out there and shoot a video than worry about whether or not you have the high-tech equipment. So take the action and don't let the little things hold you back.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have the same thing here. The smartphones doing an excellent job today. It's just the editing that you need to stay on top of the editing. And if you need to have someone for explainers, and I'm sure Chris will cover that, there's some free areas out there where technology is already built in, which is going to help you out a lot also.
Perfect. All right, guys, so let's rock and roll. So every client wants to know the whys. The whys are important because it's ultimately what's going to get you to buy into this concept. So the why of video marketing. So, well, we understand, and I understand more so than most, that how uncomfortable it can be to get in front of a camera. The fact is, this is where consumers are turning to. I like to explain it like this. You have two very distinct types of consumers that shop online, okay? So you have those consumers that they want to read everything, they want to educate themselves, so on and so forth. Then you have the type of consumers that don't want to read, they just want to watch a video on it. They're looking to efficiency. And so this is really your opportunity to kind of leverage both audiences here, because again, you're going to be shooting a video based on content that you have on the website, so on and so forth. So it's really, I think it's probably the most advantageous form of marketing that can really help you connect to the broadest audience. But over 50% of consumers now are now using videos to help make their purchasing decisions. So general thing that we say to clients: get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So, and I have to take my own advice, again, doing these Zooms, all that fun stuff, but it's really true. Right now, 4 times as many consumers would rather watch a video about a product than read about it. And 71% of consumers who viewed a video ended up making a purchase. So there's varying statistics on that, but it's better from there. So kind of moving on from that, again, this is a continuation of the whys. I always like to throw statistics out there because this is really, again, this is why. This is why we do what we do. 89% of video marketers say it gives them a good ROI. And again, a lot of this, we're going to talk about this a little later, has to do with what you're shooting, why you're shooting it, how you're shooting it, so on and so forth. So guaranteed, almost, I would venture to say 100% of video marketers will see an ROI in it. Just how well you see it or how you classify that could be obviously debatable. But 83% of video marketers say it helps them with lead generation. 87% say it increases traffic to their website. And 80% say it's contributed directly to increase in sales. So, I mean, video is where it's at. Some other really important ones is Cisco reports more than 80% of all internet traffic will be video by 2021. I mean, that's just crazy. And it's actually showing true. I literally just did a little webinar the other day on video marketing. I always like to keep up to date on these type of things just to hear, again, for my own self, what's the why? Why should I really focus on this for my businesses that I, represent? And it was never more clear than now. I mean, you have, just this huge jump in e-commerce sales quarterly. I mean, just the last quarter is up 33% again. So, I mean, obviously online shopping isn't going anywhere. It's only getting stronger. We have more and more demographics, jumping online. People who, again, a lot of people kind of discount the senior population as not being as technology savvy, but truthfully, those are the ones who are joining the internet or jumping on board in droves. I mean, it's just incredible. To kind of piggyback on that, 64% of consumers 64% of consumers mostly buy a product after seeing a video, and 90% of viewers are convinced to buy a product when they watch a video, or at least it contributes to their buying decision. And then 45% of people spend 1 or more hours weekly on YouTube and Facebook, and 85% of them watch it without sound. So that statistic I put in here because it's important. We're going to talk about that coming up as to what type of video you create and when you do it. So, all right, moving on here. So we're going to get into some tips. So this is where you're going to want to make notes. Again, some of it's applicable for some and not for others, but let's go ahead and jump in. We're going to talk a lot about perception today. So again, whether you're a big or small company, it really doesn't matter. Perception is, you're competing against big box studios out there, or big box retailers or merchants out there, people with a lot more money than maybe you have to spend on your marketing. But the truth is, that doesn't necessarily, dictate that success. I mean, we find, when I was in the corporate marketing field, I had large franchises, national brands that, we did marketing for. And my goodness, to get something done in those, the bureaucracy and the red tape takes months. I mean, you put an idea or an initiative out there, and then it has to go through all these layers of nonsense. And then eventually you finally get to, maybe producing it, then it's got to go in for approvals. And so, these companies put so much effort, time, and energy into this stuff, I question the return. But for a small business, it's so much different. You're your own red tape. The biggest challenge that we have, and Cheryl, this is to Tina this morning, is that, you got to get out of your own way. It's most of the time, the biggest objection that we get is clients, oh, I don't like to see myself. Oh, I sounded terrible. Oh, my hair was this or that. Those are easy challenges to overcome. The real, I think, plus is as small businesses, we get to really nurture our creativity. This is where, because we know our businesses best, we get to really highlight the things that clients are looking for. I always tell people, when you're looking to produce a video, think about the top 10 questions people ask you. What is it that, because if one person has it, chances are others might. That's a great segue into, how to produce content and making it comfortable for yourself. Eventually you'll get into the things that maybe you're not so comfortable with, but that's a great starting point. The point here is consistency. The key to success is consistency. If you're an e-commerce site and you're using videos to showcase your products, and now that's a huge thing, because again, we can't get all touchy-feely anymore. There's a lot of hesitation behind that. So, businesses are struggling to sell product. Well, video showcases, they're fantastic. Short, sweet, to the point. We'll talk about timeframes here in a minute, but they're awesome opportunities. Sorry, switch that too soon. Service-based businesses are not exempt from this. Again, just because you don't sell a product doesn't mean you don't provide a service. And so your services can easily be captured on video. So when we look at services, it's just about establishing yourself as an expert. So just always remember that when you're doing these videos, some consumers love to read. So you got to have a dynamic website that's full of awesome content, all the fun stuff. But then on the flip side of that, you also have those people that are looking for those visuals. And so you really gotta help resonate with those people as well. So again, service-based business, product-based business, doesn't really matter. There is a video option for you out there.
One of the keys to success when I've had clients who have been consistent, and Chris is right, consistency is key when it comes to video marketing. It's really like setting aside maybe 1 day a month and then shooting like 6-8 videos, planning it out, but shooting them all at once. And if you're able to do that, and you can kind of dedicate 1 day a month to it, it seems to be a lot easier. If you try saying, I'm going to dedicate the first, every Monday, I'm going to dedicate an hour to videos every Monday. Something happens 2 Mondays from now, you get out of rhythm, this and that. But if you could dedicate 1 day to shooting videos, maybe make your list of, the top 10 most frequently asked questions, as Chris said, or maybe 10 questions people should be asking, but they don't know what to ask. Or like I think a couple of videos ago or presentations ago, we were talking about holiday marketing and stuff. Maybe if you have any holidays or promotions, just kind of shooting all of those in one setting. If you dedicate 1 day a month and you just block off 4 hours and you do that no matter what, you're going to find that you're going to be very, very good at it. But if you try saying, I'll just spontaneously maybe do it on, Tuesday and Thursday mornings, life gets in the way, stuff happens, and it's easy to forget. So, it may be easy to just kind of block off a consistent block of time, 1 time a month to shoot all the videos.
Awesome. Yep, exactly. So moving on here, we're going to go into step 2. This is where I love this slide. Sorry, there's no graphics. I had a lot to say on it. So tip 2 is we have to be mindful of our audience and respectful of their time. And so what that means is short and sweet to the point. That's really what it comes down to. So this is a funny, when I started researching statistics, because again, I like to, have that dynamic little segment. But when we look at this, the average attention span for consumers age 65 when watching online videos is only 42 seconds. I thought that would be like several minutes. Nope. Statistically, it is 42 seconds. In contrast, the attention span of a 20-year-old is 8 seconds. So sadly, the attention span of a goldfish is 9 seconds. So it's not looking too good. But point being is you have to understand your target demographic. If I'm targeting somebody age, again, 18 to 24, I know that I have to nail it out of the gate. I need something dynamic. I need, that high quality visual right off the bat to help capture their attention so that they'll actually watch my video to the end. With our senior community, again, you have a little bit longer time span to do that in. But again, each demographic really demands something different. The younger demographic, they're looking for videos that are fun, exciting. They're looking for humor, they're not looking for so serious, that type of stuff. Our senior population, quite the opposite. They're looking more direct to the point, educational, stuff like that. So, but again, the point of this is, your clients best. So that's how you're going to produce videos. And so that's what you should always be strategizing on. So just make sure you get to the point quickly, create that engagement. This will allow your audience to connect right off the bat and actually watch the video to the end. So
one of the tips here, or one of the biggest mistakes, I guess, that a lot of people make when they do these videos that just causes people to bounce away is they introduce themselves. That's one of them, like if somebody's shooting video, hi, my name is Tom Bukacek, I'm with Sinova Solutions, my company does this. By the time I've introduced myself, people are like, you're not answering my questions. So the big thing when people are looking at videos, they want to know real quickly, right off the bat, what problem are you going to solve? And so it's very important that you kind of do that right away. I know sometimes we'll do when we'll edit this, is that we'll take like maybe a 5 to 7 second portion of the video that's very, very engaging or thought-provoking, and we'll actually put that at the beginning. And then we'll do that to start up for 7 seconds, and then maybe do like an intro real quick, like an intro video or my logo, and then just go right into the entire presentation. But you just really, right out of the gate, I mean, you've got, if you can make it past the first 9 to 15 seconds, chances are you're going to get to the 42 seconds plus. Otherwise, if you're introducing yourself or this or that, then there's a good chance that people are going to bounce away from you right away.
Perfect. All right, next up, know your audience. So we kind of already talked about that. When we talk about tonality, we talk about, the humor. Again, these are really important things to consider. A lot of, people really a lot of businesses brush that off. But, and again, I would say for those that are just starting out in video, just kind of getting the swing of it, do the best you can. Again, you will perfect your art over time. I can tell you, I have fallen flat on my face, literally did actually fall one time. So all joking aside, that was serious. But, you're literally going to fall flat on your face a couple of times as you learn this process. And, don't be afraid of that. Don't be ashamed of that. Every professional has done it too. So, the key is, and to me, you got to have fun with this, but there are some great ways to develop content for your articles or for your videos. So, and some of those are going to be, do a survey of your existing clients. If you do email marketing, send out a survey, find out what they would like to learn about. You can do polls on social media. Again, that creates like awesome engagement. When clients feel like you're actually genuinely interested in what they have to say, believe me, they will let you know. And so, be prepared for that. Talk about your products and services. We've worked with a lot of clients over the years to develop, again, very precise videos to accomplish a certain goal. And so, ask your clients what they want to hear. If you're still doing face-to-face interactions with clients, ask them. Face-to-face is always the best. I feel like I get the best feedback there. But if you don't have that ability, again, online surveys or social media is a great place to, get some topics for you. But some common ones that we see or that we recommend to clients, obviously product explainers or tutorials. So those tend to be a little bit longer than 120 seconds. So just be mindful when you're doing your videos. Some of these you're going to be able to meet that, 120 second kind of limit, if you will. Other ones you're not going to be able to. With any of these, what I really encourage is focus on the topic. Don't kind of go off into left field. I think a lot of us have tendencies to, let's just say we're talking about the business and, something like that. And then we want to segment into products. And that's not don't do that stuff. Product videos are product videos. About the business is about the business. Some other ideas, if you are service-based business, just descriptions of each of your services. So again, if you're a chiropractor and you treat all these various conditions, do a video on the conditions, not I do all of this stuff, because then that's kind of, you really water down the pond, if that makes sense. Community engagement's a huge one. I know a lot of us chamber members, we're real big in the community. We have a promotion going on today. We're buying first responders lunch at Firehouse Subs today. But these are awesome things that you should be proud of. It has nothing to do with arrogance. I hear all the time where businesses will say, well, I'm not doing it for that. I don't, I'm not doing it for the publicity. And hey, that's great, but, there's an opportunity there to not only help your business, but help another business too. So don't look at it as arrogance. Look at it like you're building goodwill in the community and you're helping really humanize your brand. I think that's really an art that's lost nowadays. All too often, we just, especially with e-commerce, there's no interaction. There's no real relationship being built there. So it can almost just, get stagnant. There's just no heart behind some of this stuff. When you purchase from Amazon, who are you really purchasing from? What are you doing? I know Amazon does a lot of great things in our communities, but, can you really put your finger on one of those things? I can't. And so again, it doesn't take away from what they do, but, they could probably do a better job at highlighting what they do in our communities. And the same thing for us as small businesses. So community engagement's a huge one. Commitment to customer service. I try to explain to clients, we go through these little waves in society to where, every now and then we're really cost conscious. We're looking for that bare bones, bottom of the line price. And there are still people like that today. Then there's other times that people are looking for that service. So they're willing to pay more for good service. Right now, we're in that type of economy, believe it or not. There's a lot of people unemployed. In respect to those people, they might have to be more conscientious of their cost right now. But there's still a lot of people out there that are willing to pay for good service. And so, again, highlighting your commitment to customer service, how you go out of your way. Those are great videos to, consider doing. Customer testimonials are always awesome. I got to give a shout out to Cheryl. She's pretty amazing over there. But she actually, and a funny story behind that, she actually reached out to us to do a little video. And again, Cheryl's a client of ours. And I just figured we were shooting a video for her. I actually had no concept of what she wanted to do. So I just brought over the camera equipment, just said, all right, let's do this. No matter what it is, we'll make it work. So we go over there. Okay, what do you want to shoot today? She's like, oh no, this is for you. I wanted to do a testimonial for you. Totally caught us off guard. Like, oh wow, like who does that? But those are the type of things that really get fun. Now, this is a rare instance where a client actually did that for us, which was awesome. But don't be afraid to ask clients for those testimonials. The thing that I would stress to you if you're doing client testimonial video is don't script it. You can absolutely see when something is scripted. I always give examples. I've held up whiteboards in the back for video or for clients. I've literally done exactly like this, little presentations where clients are reading them, you know, on a TV when they're looking at the camera. You can just tell, hello, my name is Walter. I am from, you know, and it's like, oh, that is horrible. So really think about that, you know, have it be genuine. Even if the client fumbles through something, that's okay. You know, it's a genuine testimonial and people will resonate with that. And then last but not least, again, partnership acknowledgement. I know I can't do this job on my own. We have tons of awesome partners in the business that we work with that facilitate various functions for us. And it's okay. It's okay to acknowledge that. You know, clients are savvy nowadays. They know that you can't be an end-to-end solution as a 2 or 4 person team. Sometimes, you know what, you have outside resources, but you're the face of that relationship. So acknowledging partners, acknowledging strengths, acknowledging, you know, what it takes to keep this ship right, if that makes sense. It's an awesome thing. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a service-based partner. It could just be a referral partner, somebody that sends a ton of, you know, traffic to you. Maybe you just want to recognize them. Again, chambers of commerce. I could go on and on about that, but these are just a couple of ideas. I know Tom had a couple more too.
Actually, I mean, we touched on them. Like I said, the frequently asked questions and the questions that people should be asking you are real good ways to go ahead and create topics. And then building from that, also, what are some of the, I think this is really a big key, and it's always tough on how you explain this, but just kind of go through your site or your service process and just really think about videos you can make to make it even easier. Never underestimate the ability of your customer to be confused or to not understand something. Being a little more direct, one of my first digital marketing coaches said, envision every one of your customers as Homer Simpson, and you have to create something so Homer Simpson can understand it. And you can either do that trying to write everything out, in which case Homer's not going to read that, or you could do small, specific, content-based videos, step-by-step how-to, and do that for a lot of things. Even if you think it's simple, nobody would ever need it, you'd be surprised. There'd be a question, and it's just something that people really appreciate.
Homer Simpson. Oh God, I'm putting your picture in my phone as Homer Simpson. That's happening right now. All right, awesome. All right, next up here, content should tell a story. So, you know, we're talking a lot about content right now. So tip 4 is going to be relative to that. When we're talking about content, we need to tell a story. That's really how things work. That's what people are looking for. If you want to create engagement, you know, again, this is where it's at. So I always tell people when you're doing a video, how did you get to this point? Why do you do it this way? You know, whatever the case is for your business. And again, you know your business best. Remember, you're the expert in this stuff. This is our opportunity to establish that. So when you're doing your videos, again, you know, hey, Chris here at A&P, you know, water sprinklers or whatnot, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. You just quickly establish yourself as the expert and then roll into your video. To Tom's point before, you know, you don't need these big explainers listing your 75 miles of, you know, credentials that you bring to the table. You know, people are on your site and they're viewing your video already for a reason. So clearly they find you relevant, or at least they think they do. Now it's your time to shine. So this is where we really want to get creative. We really want to have fun with it. So again, we alluded to this earlier. People can see when you're not having fun. People can see when you're stiff, you're just not into it. And again, that's okay for your first few videos, but over time, you really want to remember, have fun. I can give you examples. I look back to some of the early videos that we created as a company, and oh my goodness, I look stiff, I look unapproachable. It's just, I mean, the content's good, but the body language is all off. It looks, I don't know. I mean, and maybe I'm too too difficult on myself or too tough on myself, but you know, for me, that's just what I see out of it. And I know if I see it, other people are too. So just remember, it's okay, you know, have fun with it though. I always like to joke around, you know, today, even before this, my wife was giving me a hard time. And, you know, we're just, you know, it's all about just enjoying what you do. I know I love my job. I know Tom, Evan, Walter, we all do. So, you know, let that shine in a video.
There's an old saying that says, facts tell, but stories sell. From this, people remember stories that you tell them. It's a great way to display your experience. If you're talking about the experience you have or some examples of people you worked with, that has a lot more credibility to what you're doing rather than, you know, saying, hey, 83% of people watch 42% of a video. You know, people aren't going to remember those facts. It's good that you know it, but, you know, people will probably walk away from this remembering, you know, think Homer Simpson. What would how do I explain to Homer Simpson? You know, that's type of a story is something that people will remember, and that's a takeaway. And those are the type of things that are going to be more powerful because people will remember it more so than a statistic.
Perfect. So next up is the thing that most people want to know probably today, and what type of equipment. I can tell you some of the best videos I've ever seen are shot with nothing more than a cell phone. That's the truth. A nice light ring, a nice tripod with a cell phone mount, I mean, can honestly do the job. So I don't think you need to get fancy with anything. And certainly if you're just starting with videos, don't get fancy yet, because I'll explain a little bit more in a minute. But you start with your phone, have fun with it. Now, the thing that I caution you with is try not to hold your phone. You know, sometimes that can be okay, you know, depending on the type of video you're doing, but it can be distracting too. I always say, like I have in the background here, my little tripod, a whopping, I think $15, $16 from Amazon. I have a little cell phone, or excuse me, a little extender bar that allows me to put multiple things on it, 20 bucks. I got a GoPro mount here. I also got a cell phone mount up here. I got a light up here. I mean, I think I'm $100 all into this little setup here. And I can tell you, I bring it all over the place. Clients look at me like, wait a minute, you shoot with the GoPro? Yep. It's some of the best camera equipment out there right now. And I know a lot of professionals that shoot with it as well. Granted, we do have a DSLR. I mean, we have a Nikon just the same, but you know, I've done my own studies, my own comparisons, and I can tell you the quality of the video between the two, it's, trust me when I say it's worth the investment. So for us, I've shot with my Google Pixel 3 XL, I've shot with GoPro, and I've shot with a Nikon. So for those just starting out, start simple. Go with your iPhone. I mean, my wife, she shoots some amazing videos with her iPhone. Just invest in the stability. I think that's a real big one, especially for me. I know I get distracted when I look at videos that are bouncing all over the place, stuff like that. But other than that, I think I own 4 or 5 GoPros now. GoPro Max, Max does the 360 tours. So you can really honestly have a lot of fun with this. The difference between the three really comes down to editing software. Because again, they all shoot relatively the same. Well, the Nikon obviously is, you know, kind of way out there, but comparative to the phone and the GoPro, you're going to notice it really comes down to editing software on the backside, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But you don't have to get fancy. You really don't need that Nikon. There's a time and a place for it. So maybe down the road when you get real fancy, that would be appropriate. But for right now, again, this goes back to having fun.
I would also kind of think about where are you going to go ahead and put these videos? Are you going to put it on a certain platform? So for example, for YouTube, now pretend this is a phone, you'd want to keep it landscape like this because it's going to take up more of the space. So if you can actually like see me, for example, I have my phone vertically right now instead of landscape, so I'm not taking up all of the real estate. That's not always a great thing. If you're shooting a video and this is going to go up on YouTube, there's going to be a lot of empty space there on the sides. So for YouTube, you want to go ahead and do landscape. Now, if you're doing Facebook, that's when you want to go ahead and do it like this, because most people on Facebook use their mobile, and so you want to go ahead and shoot like this. So this is great for YouTube and website. This is straight for Facebook.
Perfect. Awesome tip, dude. All right. Next up is editing software. So this is really, and I'm not, well, this is going to sound crazy in a minute, but just work with me here. Editing takes more time for most people than the actual shooting of the video. That's That to me is the crazy part. I know I can go into, you know, a client's office, shoot an hour's worth of video, come back and spend 4 hours editing it and putting it all together. So there's two parts to this that I really want to emphasize. So really it comes down to having a plan. So when we talk about content, we talk about all that stuff before, the more strategic you are, the more dialed in you get by, you know, through planning. Again, sporadic, you know, spontaneous videos are okay. Just understand that you may have to put a little more editing into those in order to get that right. But ones that are well planned, well thought out, that have strategic cut points in them, so on and so forth, those can actually be really, really beneficial for you because, again, it'll cut down later on your editing time. But let's just, for the sake of argument, let's just say you need a really good editing software. There's a lot of free ones out there: OpenShot, Movie Maker, Blender, VSDC, so on and so forth. But really, we're going to recommend, I always recommend purchasing your own. And the reason why I say this is because when we look at the features and the benefits, sometimes, you know, like OpenShot, they'll put their logo on your videos and stuff like that. Just, you know, sometimes may take away from the, you know, quality, if you will. And two, the free sources, there's really nothing free out there. They limit the number of tools that you have, so on and so forth. So do yourself a favor after you get through the first couple of videos where you're just kind of winging it and figuring things out. Eventually invest into that video software because, again, Adobe Premiere, Cyberlink, Miro, Final Cut, those are just, you know, a few of them out there. For GoPro, I use GoPro's editing software. It works just fine. It works for us. And there's, like I said, there's tons of other ones out there. So this, a lot of clients will ask, well, what do you prefer? You know, it's really not a preference per se. All of them have their own qualities, their own, you know, benefits and features. For us, Adobe's kind of the, you know, big fish in the pond, if you will. So we use Adobe. But that doesn't say that, you know, Apple's video editor, those things are great. They work for some. So it just, again, depends on the type of video that you're putting together. Now I'm going to caveat a little bit. I'm going to put an asterisk on this. And I will also tell you too, for us, so, you know, we all have a price, right? So we all work, you know, we all have a, let's just say a quote unquote hourly rate that we're worth per hour. With video editing, because it takes so much time, this is where your freelancers are really going to come in handy. Fiverr, and again, I seldom refer to Fiverr only because of typically the quality of the product that you get at the end of the day. But for video editing, there's a lot of great Fiverr people out there that, you know, for $5, $10, $20, just depends on what it is. They can really doll up your videos, take that off of your plate. You just need to provide some like key instruction to them and then let them do what they do. Like I said, it saves a ton of time. If it's something, and I always prioritize my time like this, I always look at, okay, what did I shoot? Is it a client or is it for me? Is it, you know, how did I feel after watching it? How did the shoot go? So on and so forth. But if it's something that it's going to take me a lot of time to edit because maybe I just didn't shoot it right, or maybe, you know, it just needs a lot of editing, that's something where I'm going to be cognizant of my value and my time. And I'm going to reach out to Fiverr and I'm just going to have somebody there do it. If it's something that I can do in usually less than an hour, then I'll do it on my own. But, you know, don't discount those services. They're, you know, again, I don't recommend them for a lot of things, but for this one, I usually do.
No, that's great. Another tool that if you're going to do, let's say it's a video like this where you're doing kind of a talking head, I call it basically you're just kind of shooting yourself. Another good editing software that I like is Splashio. Splashio, what they do is they do the subtitle videos. So if you're going to do a video for Facebook or you're going to do a video for LinkedIn, one of the things to take into account is that 85% of people will not actually listen to the video. That's because by default, Facebook and LinkedIn will keep the audio off. And so you actually have to physically go in there and touch it, and 85% of the people won't do that. So what Splashio does is you upload it to them, they put a nice branded color, whatever color you want, on the top of the title, and then they will transcribe your video and align it up with your speech so you will see subtitles at the bottom. And while a lot of people will not, like I said, listen to a video, they will sit there and watch the video. So Splashio is a good tool. I don't know how much they cost currently. I think it's like $25 a video, but it's a difference a lot of times between somebody actually getting the content out of your video versus not getting the content out of it because there's no text there.
Yep.
So again, if you're doing Facebook and LinkedIn, I highly recommend it. And I think if you're going to be doing multiple videos a month, you might be able to negotiate a better deal. I think that packages.
Yeah, that's great feedback.
Yeah, and Tom, you'll see that on the second video that's coming up that I have posted. You'll see actually some time-lapse video, but it's basically an editor just putting copy on top of a video already in a wrestling shot with the phone. So you can do some amazing stuff extremely cheap.
Perfect. Well, let's segment into yours, Walter. So you're up.
Okay. All right. Okay. Video tip 7, business to business. What we've been talking about, basis business to consumer and attention spans. But if you actually have a product that's either complex or you have to educate the business owner on it, you really want to make sure you have a video, because that person is going to say, I'm a visual person. So you want to be able to explain what you're doing to that person and doing with that service for the person, but also at the same time, be able to explain the benefits of it. So 2 of our products are here, and Chris will see, he'll click on the first one, and the first one is for the merchant, and it will show you exactly what the merchant needs to see.
There's my dog barking.
We understand how difficult running a business can be. Managing the day-to-day activities and trying to grow your business can be overwhelming. At Klosebuy, we've created a digital platform that will keep your customers coming back while providing the tools to bring in new ones. Without integration or waiting, Klosebuy gives your business a digital web and mobile platform, unlimited digital advertising, a loyalty program, customer analytics, emails, mobile messages, and so much more. With customized marketing materials and promo codes, Klosebuy helps you communicate and jumpstart your program. Consumers download the Klosebuy app, sign up using your promo code, and we automatically add them to your customer database, giving them bonus points at no charge to you. Customers find your business, use your promotions, collect their points, and redeem their rewards, all through the mobile app. Driving foot traffic into your store has never been easier. Digital advertisements, coupons, limited time specials, and loyalty rewards can be easily created and posted online within minutes. Change them as often as you wish. Reward your customers with points. Use them instead of discounts, for customer purchases, and even for sharing your advertisements on social media. Celebrate your customers' loyalty and have them spend their points on rewards from your business or from a selection of thousands of items in Klosebuy's online catalog. Get instant access to critical business data to know who your customers are and what advertisements are inspiring them. We know how busy you are. With Klosebuy's managed services, let a professional manage the marketing for you. We become your own marketing department. Klosebuy gives your business the edge with an affordable, state-of-the-art turnkey solution that will drive sales, excite consumers, and help you build a better business.
So this is an example of a video that's done with the phone. It is speaking right to the point of the benefits to the business owner. So when you go on B2B, you want to make sure you kind of remove a lot of the doubt, because we can have all of this in print and they will be like, what are you talking about? And how is this similar to someone else? How is this different than what someone else has? So it's really important to do that. Editing is a huge, huge component in having a video that's impactful. All right, you can go to the next one there, Chris. Large on it.
The mobile-to-store strategy is a must-have for retailers and restaurants, but how can advertisers know if their campaign is successful when they can't quantify actual visit rates amongst the target audience? Subway France had the same question. Subway is a global franchise brand, among the top 5 fast food players in France, with over 500 operating locations.
Subway partnered with S4M Mobile Technology to create an innovative and measurable mobile-to-store campaign. We were able to target the intended audiences in the most efficient, respectful, and verifiable way, ultimately boosting foot traffic in Subway restaurants.
Here's how we did it. First, we created a hyper-precise mobile audience cluster of fast food consumers using a combination of behavioral data. To start, we geofenced a radius around every Subway restaurant in France to define a zone to target the most relevant audiences. To evaluate the ad's impact, S4M collected anonymous mobile device IDs around Subway restaurants for 30 days before the campaign. We did the same to 4 competing brands, collecting a total of over 8 million device IDs. These IDs were divided into 2 groups. One, a segment of users exposed to the campaign, and the other, a control segment of users not exposed, allowing us to evaluate foot traffic in the restaurants. During the campaign, we only ran Subway ads to the fast food consumers audience cluster when they were in the range of a Subway and during the window of time around lunch or dinner. Users who met those criteria saw S4M's video to store creative format on their devices. First, a prompt with a countdown, giving users an option to exit the ad before it begins. After 3 seconds, users will see Subway's current campaign video, as well as the actual distance to the nearest Subway restaurant from their real-time location. After exposure to the campaign, converted users will click on a store locator to be guided to the nearest Subway restaurant. Through this programmatic format, S4M was able to locate users in real time without the need to ask them to enable geolocation. Our results speak for themselves. Subway saw an impressive 47% boost to their foot traffic among those exposed to our campaign. They also saw an uptick amongst visits in all selected restaurants. In one outstanding case, we were able to redirect almost 40% of the consumer traffic from a nearby competitor restaurant into Subway's instead. Half of users exposed watched until the end of the ad and had an impressive click-through rate to the store locator. In mobile campaigns, accidental clicks are commonplace. To curb ad spend waste, S4M guaranteed a buying model based on cost per landing page, which means Subway was only billed for actual rendered impressions, true clicks, and fully loaded landing pages.
With this unique mobile-to-store strategy, Subway was able to deliver the right message to the right individuals at their most receptive moment. By doing so, we were able to avoid any waste in our media spend. We saw a positive impact in our footprint to our restaurants and will continue to seek out this innovative mobile-to-store strategy to better connect with our valued consumers on their smartphones.
Okay, thanks, Chris. So in this video, as I mentioned before, you really want to have a case study. So we actually have case studies on every campaign we do, whether it's from a one location international, but it's all in print. So if someone's reading it in print, they don't get the full impact. So I guarantee you, we'll have a brand or an agency say, we want to use your information based on the visual aspect of it versus in reading all of these numbers in print, which is what Tom was talking about, just seeing all these numbers. We can actually see a real case of what actually happens with your particular product. So there's just another way of going B2B instead of B2C. It's going to really help everyone out, and it's really inexpensive to do that.
Awesome. So to kind of put all this together, you know, and this is our wrap up for this. So when we really think about this, you know, how is it going to benefit us? Well, aside from the obvious, you know, just creating engagement, really there's an SEO value on the back end of stuff. So Google and, you know, with their Penguin and Panda updates, it's more than just creating backlinks. So for people like me who nerd out on, you know, website ranking and how we do that and strategy, so on and so forth, video plays a very, very, very important role because, again, it's all about engagement now. So it's not quantity of backlinks that we build, it's quality of backlinks. That's really what we're going for. Quality content that attracts natural backlinks. If I were to do a video that really resonated with people and then they start sharing it, that's what Google looks at, social, anybody. All of these platforms look at and say, oh, wow, we want to get on that bandwagon. It's the whole concept of going viral. So the better your video, you know, the higher the quality of the video, the more you're going to get out of it. So again, and this comes in time. The first few, well, not going to be great, and that's okay. But over time, you're going to see yourself develop, and you're going to have, you know, some pretty awesome things being produced, and you'd be surprised. Some people pick it up real quick. Other people, it may take a little bit, but that's okay. So moral of the story, don't just create videos to create videos. Share them, you know, create quality content. Every page, I would say, like, you know, and again, this is when you hit pro status is, you know, when you look at your website, you know, you have these core inner pages. Great. Do a video for them too. You know, create those videos. So again, those people that want to read, they have their content. The people that just want the visual or the video, boom, they have their video too. Blogs. When you create a blog, create a vlog. Do a little video on it too. it will resonate with your audience. So again, the people that want to read, they're going to read. If they want to watch a video, those people want to watch a video. It's great for social sharing. There's just so many benefits behind video. So I would encourage you, if you're uncomfortable, call, give any of us a call in the marketing committee. We can walk you through it. Hell, you can even come in. I have a little studio here in my office, a separate office, by the way, not just this, but we have a little studio here. We can show you tips, tricks, all sorts of stuff. I'll even shoot you a free video. Really doesn't cost us anything to do. It's just our time, and I love to have fun. So that would be my offer to you guys. So Tom, do you have anything else? Walter, anything else you guys want to add in?
I think you did a great job, but obviously you want to have everything you have in print, but you definitely want to use video to enhance it. You can also practice with Loom because Loom actually, you're basically just sitting there with your computer talking about your product and your face is there. So it is a video itself, but you're actually being out in front of your customer and you can edit it. I think the editable version of Loom is about $8. So it's a great way to get some stuff out, especially if you have multiple products. You can actually break them down into where they go.
Perfect, Tom.
Yeah, about the final thing is, one thing we didn't really talk about too much, but one of the easiest ways to get videos going on social media is to use Facebook Live. You can use that if you're going to demonstrate something, if you want to interview somebody. Even if somebody like on your staff who's kind of specializes in a certain aspect, you can interview them. And you can do that via Facebook Live. If you have a lot of questions, you can do a question and answer. So, that's a great way to get started. And then, Facebook loves the authenticity of a video. So videos are always going to rank better if you have a fan page and you send out a link to another site. That's going to get the worst reach because you're taking people off the platform. If you put up a meme or an image, it's going to be better because at least they're staying on the platform, but the meme or the image could be from anywhere. Anybody could copy that. A video is authentic. Nobody can copy your video. So uploading directly to Facebook, doing a Facebook Live, things like that, it's going to get your fan page the best reach you can get organically.